Hello there. Welcome to this week's episode of That Shakespeare Girl Asks, Did Shakespeare? I'm Cassidy Cash, that Shakespeare Girl, and this week we're asking the question, did Shakespeare eat lamprey? Lamprey was a popular dish among the royal families going back as far as William the Conqueror. They would eat it in various forms, often cooking it up. It looks a lot like sausage. It's this long sea creature fish that is really very disgusting. It is this long tube with no bones and no spine and this mass of teeth. It's just a circle head with teeth, and it latches onto things and, I don't know, sucks out their innards or something like a leech. But it was very popular in the Thames River. It would swim up there to spawn, and so the river was just full of these guys. And they would get caught, and fishmongers would sell them popularly on the streets and everything. And there are numerous records of this being popular with the royal family. King Henry was said to have eaten it. King John was actually cited as payment in lamprey was how he preferred to get paid because he just enjoyed eating this so much. There is one member of the royal family that was even said to have died from eating too much lamprey. So it was hardly rare among the royals. In fact, it was sort of a staple in the royal family. Specifically for the sitting queen's Diamond Jubilee back, I think it was 2015. I'm actually not sure when she had her Diamond Jubilee. Serving lamprey pie was a traditional thing to do. Gloucester has been sending lamprey pie to the monarch for coronations and jubilees back for centuries. And this Diamond Jubilee was unique because there wasn't enough lamprey in England to make her the pie. So they had to outsource their lamprey. And they went to Canada to get Canadian lamprey to make this pie to send to the Queen for her Diamond Jubilee. For big parties for the royal family where they wanted to show off all of these exotic foods and just really demonstrate their power and establishment. And certainly for Queen Elizabeth, it was important for her to show off that she was strong in her position. Not only was she a woman, but her rise to queen was pretty tumultuous to get there. I think that's even an understatement for Elizabeth. So probably at her banquets, whenever she had the opportunity to show off her strength, she would have done that. And the place settings and the food choices that she had at these banquets helped her do that. And traditionally, among the kings and queens of England, the more lavish and exotic the dishes, the more wealthy you were and the more powerful you looked to the people attending. If you don't know what court was like, basically the way it would go is when the queen attended, and she didn't always, but when she attended these banquets, she would sit at the front, and there were these long tables spread out for everyone else to sit at. And you can see kind of what this is like from pictures done of a state dinner that they held recently. The sitting Queen Elizabeth held a state dinner for the King and Queen of Spain. And you can see from pictures there, the Duchess of Cambridge is sitting at one of these tables, but they have these long tables spread out in front of a longer table that's at the front of the room where the Queen is sitting. What we know is that lamprey was popular for coronations and jubilees. What I wasn't able to find out is whether or not the lamprey would have been served at smaller but still significant events. Like in 1594 and in 1597, Shakespeare attended court for Elizabeth and performed a play. So I would think if she was holding court there, it would be important for the process to show off with the different foods. So it makes sense that lamprey would have been served there, but I was not able to find a specific record of lamprey being served there. What we were able to find is a record of James II's coronation, and lamprey is listed as the 20th item served at his coronation. So again, we are able to find that this was a popular dish among the royals, and it's likely that it would have been served at the Christmas banquet, but we don't know for sure. We're asking the question of, did Shakespeare eat lamprey? First, lamprey was popular among the royal family. Second, it was served whenever they wanted to show off their power and wealth, which was all the time. Third, it was listed as being served at a major banquet for James II, and knowing the royal family's propensity for doing things the way people before them did it, it's likely that Elizabeth would have also followed this tradition, especially since this tradition preceded her by a great deal of not just decades but centuries of monarchs did it this way. So since Shakespeare attended the banquets, he would have eaten the food that was served there. So the answer to the question of, did Shakespeare eat lamprey, is, well, he did if Elizabeth served it. How's that for inconclusive? Anyway, there are supposedly royal records of what gets served at these banquets. I could not find a record of what was served in 1594 or 1597. If I hear back from Ivan Day and his blog on his opinion, I will certainly come on here and share that with you guys so that you can know too. If you are a food historian of the Elizabethan era and you know where we can find a record of what was served at any of the court that Elizabeth held, please leave that in the comments below, because I would love to know. I think it's an interesting question. But seriously, who eats lamprey? Who was the first person that pulled this out of the river and said, hey, I think we should eat this? Woo! Thank you so much for joining me this week on Did Shakespeare. I'm Cassie Cash, that Shakespeare girl, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe. All of the love that you send this way just encourages me, and I love to put together these and hear back from you guys that love Shakespeare as much as I do. Thank you so much for studying Shakespeare along with me and being there to comment and share in the study, because it's fun, and the exploration through Elizabethan England is a great journey. If you are interested in more information on Whitehall Palace and Henry VIII specifically, I encourage you to reach out to Philippa Brule at British History Tours. I'll put a link below in the comments. All of the resources that I use to research the topics I share each week, I post on the blog. So if you're a student or a teacher, or you're just somebody who likes to learn more, there are tons of links available over at CassidyCash.com. While you're there, please be sure to subscribe, because I have great freebies that I only give out to email subscribers. So make sure you subscribe there to get those. Thanks again for being here. Check out the other videos over here and the like button that's over there, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.